Overnight, Joe Rogan defending his embattled Spotify podcast, trying to respond to the firestorm that has seen rocker Neil Young. There is no reason for you and a growing number of musical allies pulling their recordings from the site in a battle over the star podcaster, and his alleged spreading of COVID vaccine and treatment misinformation on the Joe Rogan Experience, including promoting the drug ivermectin. Some of his guests.
I do not know if they're right. I don't know.
I would like to address some of the comments that I made on Monday's show. I wish to always protect and respect the privacy of the mothers of all my children. You know what I mean? I just really want to be sincere.
Suspended from ABC's The View amid a backlash over her remarks this week that the Holocaust was, quote, not about race. The 66-year-old...
I don't know anybody who could beat you in a versus. Do you have anybody you would like to go against?
Love is on the brain, more like babies on the brain. Yep, congratulations are in order for Hollywood's hottest couple. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are expecting their first child together. Walking around in the Big Apple, the baby bump was on full display.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Take. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us here on The Take on this Thursday, February 3rd, 2021. Like I said, this is The Take. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on The Take as we get started with the big story. The big story this week is a lot of musical artists are calling to action, trying to get rid of one podcaster that just got acquired to Spotify. Well, there's one big podcast, is Joe Rogan, who drew a lot of millions of followers every time. But the musical artists are saying that Joe Rogan's views and opinions are causing them to think twice, and they want to be pulled out away from Spotify. Let's get the latest with Joe Rogan, the musical artist, and Spotify with this controversial comment Rogan made. Take a look.
Overnight, Joe Rogan defending his embattled Spotify podcast, trying to respond to the firestorm that has seen rocker Neil Young. There is no reason for you and a growing number of musical allies pulling their recordings from the site in a battle over the star podcaster, and his alleged spreading of COVID vaccine and treatment misinformation on the Joe Rogan Experience, including promoting the drug ivermectin, despite FDA warnings that it's not been shown to help with COVID-19 and may be dangerous. Rogan seeking to take issue with the misinformation label, despite the unsubstantiated statements made by some of his guests.
I do not know if they're right. I don't know, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a person who sits down and talks to people and has conversations with them. Do I get things wrong? Absolutely, I get things wrong, but I try to correct them. Whenever I get something wrong,
it began with the 76-year-old Young. Declaring on his website that Spotify could have Rogan or me, not both, because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines potentially causing death, echoing detailed objections made by 270 experts in an open letter to Spotify weeks ago. Kennedy Center honoree Joni Mitchell saying she'll pull her music from Spotify, saying irresponsible people are spreading lies that are costing people their lives. Prince Harry and Meghan, recipients of a $30 million Spotify podcast deal, expressing concerns. But you and I know what this world can... Guitarist Nils Lofgren of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, pulling some 27 years worth of his solo work off the site.
I think specifically a lot of times on Joe's show, they encourage the wrong thing, and it's disingenuous and dangerous at times, and we felt like we had no choice but to stand with Neil. I've been a miner for a heart
of gold. Keep me searching. Like I said, Joe Rogan is the heap of controversy this week. He has didn't hold back one bit. Here's some comments he made about him. Take a look.
Some of his guests.
I do not know if they're right. I don't know because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a person who sits down and talks to people and has conversations with them. Do I get things wrong? Absolutely, I get things wrong, but I try to correct them whenever I get something.
Yeah, Joe Rogan ain't going far back from none. A lot of musical artists from the 60s, such as Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, even R&B singer India Hari, they all want asking Spotify to please remove them from the platform, the musical streaming platform, away from Joe Rogan's political views and views on everything. But Spotify has been mum about it, and they're not gonna let Joe Rogan go. And India Hari made a point like, you're giving us pennies, but you're giving Joe Rogan millions for just displaying his views. So it's an ongoing battle right now with Spotify, the musical artist, over Joe Rogan. So we'll stay in tune with that. Alright, in celebrity news this week, rapper Nicki Minaj returns and did some media rounds this week to promote her new single, Do We Have a Problem with the Baby? And she stopped by the Head Crack show on his radio show and talked about how her baby Papa Bear conceived and what sex positions got to that level. Let's take a look.
I don't know anybody who could beat you in verses. Do you have anybody you would like to go against, whether it be a male or a female? Because the only person I think that can go against you, they're on your team.
Who?
Drake, Lil Wayne.
Who? But see, Drake and Wayne, I don't even, they Drake and Wayne got so many bonafide hits, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, but I don't think there might be a female or two that,
Come on, give us a scoop. Give us a scoop. Come
They were talking to me about it, you know, and look, it's gonna be fun, and like, oh, you know, you never know. That's what
It's more of a celebration, right?
Yeah, it should be like a celebration. That's exactly what I would like it to feel like. Fun and happiness. Because I couldn't do a lot of times in my career stuff would feel like work, and now I'm just like, no, everything needs to feel good. That's it.
Hey, wow, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj trying to be a little bit controversial, but that's how she is. She likes to speak that controversy ongoing and stuff. But hey, Nicki Minaj doing the thing and doing it well. But she'll be back tomorrow with her new single, Do We Have a Problem? And love to hear that. I think I probably got a leak, but I want to hear it and see for myself. Alright, we move over to another with Nicki's BFF, Rihanna. Rihanna showing these baby pics right here. We talked to you about on Viral earlier this week that Rihanna is pregnant. Indeed, a lot of men are a little bit upset on that, but they'll be alright. We know who the baby daddy is. It's no other than A$AP Rocky. But Rihanna showing this little pic, showing folks that she's indeed pregnant. And you can see this new pic right here that Rihanna is showing out. She's 6 months along the way. She's 3 months away from giving birth. So congratulations to Rihanna. I kind of knew she was pregnant. She just didn't want to speak about it. She wanted to keep it private and see how far she was going. Alright, on talk shows this week. On The View, the Whoopi Goldberg, the host of The View, the moderator of The View, she started the whole week clean slate. But when it came about the Holocaust, you be the judge. Take a look.
Truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race. No, it's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going after
it's not
groups
about
and race.
But these are two white groups of people.
Well, that's what after black people
see them as white.
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about Mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say this? Then let's be truthful about it, because
Whoopi Goldberg, with her comments and stuff about the Holocaust, about race and all this stuff, we know that's a sensitive subject. A lot of people lost their lives about religion and all this stuff. But Whoopi Goldberg should have been a little bit more educated. But she apologized right here, and then all of a sudden she got suspended for her comments on Monday. I think and then they saying that Whoopi Goldberg going through a phase. Take a look. Like I said, they saying Whoopi Goldberg going through a phase, talking about she threatened to leave the show. Well, The View is not bigger than Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg is bigger than The View. So we can prove that trap point. If Whoopi Goldberg leaves The View, then who they gonna find as a moderator? They'll find somebody, but Whoopi Goldberg can stay on her own. She's an EGOT, for Christ's sakes. So Whoopi Goldberg would be doing just fine if she decided to walk away. But apparently she needs to be on View to stay relevant. So you know how that be. Alright, on Nick Cannon this week. Nick Cannon, he's been all over the subject about him fathering a lot of kids with different women. But Nick Cannon went on to did a little social media post, and he got a new kid on the way. After a month ago, he lost his child from a different woman. Now he got a new kid from a new woman, and a whole bunch of controversy going on. Nick Cannon explains himself on his show with this.
I would like to address some of the comments that I made on Monday's show. I wish to always protect and respect the privacy of the mothers of all my children. You know what I mean? I just really want to be sincere, and whether that's someone who's new or someone who's had my child, I have such a great relationship and great admiration for everyone in my life. And I believe I failed to do so on Monday because it was a lot going on. I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't know what to say, so I was probably talking too fast and probably misspoke. And I know I can do better when dealing with delicate and sensitive discussions. So I promise you, I promise the mothers of my children, I promise my family that I would do better and continue to be more understanding, caring, compassionate, like they often show me each and every day through these processes. So if I did misspeak, or I'm not gonna say if I did, I misspoke and probably went too much into detail on Monday expressing my feelings. And it felt like I was probably making some comparatives or probably discussing when talking about the passing of my son Zen, and then also talking about the new child that I'm expecting. And I didn't have to do that. I didn't need to do that because those are two completely separate moments in my life and in life. And they both deserve the respect that they are. Grieving is a process, and I'm still grieving each and every single day. And myself and Alyssa and our family, we still deal with that. And I know it seems awkward because, you know, people trying to do the timing and all, none of that matters. You know, we lost a child, and it was a sincere and still is a sincere and real situation. And I love her, I love my son Zen, and I always will. And I'm gonna love my new child, and I'm gonna love every child from that point on. And I'm a responsible human being, and I take full responsibility for everything. So I must say I sincerely apologize to everyone involved for any extra pain or confusion that I may have caused.
You can't apologize for anything that he did wrong, and if it came out not the right intentions. But that's what Nick Cannon does for a living. He just tries to get the story out, and the story caught with him and stuff, and that be you know, Nick Cannon being. Alright, we'll be back with the tape. Stay tuned for more tape. Welcome back to the tape. I'm your host as always, Kenny Dix here on the Hub of Pop Culture. This Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Yeah, 2022. Don't forget, having a big birthday coming up soon. So hey, thank you for the birthday wishes as well. If you're watching this, birthday will be Monday, so look out for Monday night Ken, I guess. So hey, we got a lot to get to, but first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag #TakeHealConnect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit the subscribe button right here, so you won't miss a thing here on the Take. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty with the political rundown. The political rundown this week. We know U.S. and Russian tensions continue to escalate. Now we know that President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin may not agree on different things, but a lot of people saying that the Russian people are trying to collude some little plan to do something. Let's get to the latest on what's going on in the U.S.-Russian connection with this whole ordeal. Take a look.
New satellite images of Russian forces massing north of Ukraine as President Biden orders American troops to deploy as a show of support to NATO allies.
The current situation demands that we reinforce the deterrent and defensive posture on NATO's eastern flank.
3,000 troops being sent to Eastern Europe, though not Ukraine. 1,000 are based in Germany and will head to Romania. No deployment dates yet, but we're told in the coming days. 2,000 troops will move from Fort Bragg in North Carolina to Poland and Germany. These are in addition to the 8,500 troops already on heightened alert. The Pentagon stressing these deployments are not permanent, but designed to bolster allies in the standoff with Russia over Ukraine. The Kremlin has over 100,000 troops along parts of Ukraine's borders, though insisting it doesn't plan to attack, and that the new troops to the north are just there for training. Tonight, Russia condemning the movement of American forces, calling it a destructive step that fuels military tension.
We do not know if Russia has made a final decision to further invade Ukraine, but it clearly has that capability.
Until now, the administration has said the risk of invasion was imminent. Now, no longer using that word, simply saying Putin could invade at any time. If war comes, this region is where it's likely to erupt. We met some of the few remaining villagers of Saisova, living in fear of war, at the mercy of larger forces and brooding armies. Their message to world leaders is simple. Stop the war. David, the 3,000 troops is primarily designed to transcend a message to Putin, and by leaving the door open to more deployments, it gives the president the option to ramp up the pressure even further. But this is also a high-risk strategy with no guarantee of success. David?
We just have to sit and wait. We hope everything is okay. We just don't want nothing to pop off. And, you know, when things pop out, things will pop off. All right, on news is this week. We just found out that the CNN president, Jeff Suttle, resigned after having a personal relationship with a staff. Well, that's what they do in the workplace. Everyone has a relationship one way or another, some way, somewhere. So, ain't nothing new. So, it bees like that. If they don't let the conflict afflict the interest, then, you know, to me, it's all be. Alright, and finally, on the viral video of the week, a Howard student is writing her own history, becoming a Disney-inspired princess after trying to have some of the musicals and stuff with as a Korean princess. Take a look.
Pointing out that there is someone missing in the world of Disney. We've been talking about Encanto, right? Take a look at this.
There was no Korean Disney princess, so I decided to make my own.
The fish in the sea can't stop me. All of the waves in the world can't rock me. I'm on a mission and just watch me go.
So let me tell you what's going on here. First of all, I love the graphics, right? That's 22-year-old Harvard student Julia Roop performing a song from her very own musical about a Korean princess.
Wow.
The St. Louis native has been writing and composing for years before her videos took off. Roop says she's holding auditions at school to actually turn it into a real thing.
It's so amazing that TikTok and a lot of these other social media platforms, especially TikTok, gravitating to people, and people are gravitating to TikTok. So she want to be, you know, it never been done before, and you never know, Disney might put the stamp of approval on it, coming soon, coming forward. So you never know. Disney is trying to make ethnicities and stuff. So don't be surprised if what comes along too. Boy, princess come along too. So hey, it will happen down the road. I believe it. So we have to wait and see on that one. Alright, y'all. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Take this week. We talk about pop culture and entertainment weeks of the week. So I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and we'll see you next week for another edition of The Take. See you later.